welcome back to Creative Discovery in PaintShop Pro. I'm Sandy and this is the second Tuesday tip. In this tip we're going to be looking at how to get back the old layer palette that used to be in previous versions. So open up your PaintShop Pro and let's find out about it. A new layer palette was introduced with version 10. It's still basically the same now. The older versions before that had everything on one line, but didn't have an image of the layer unless you hovered over it. We have in ours an image on this layer. We have all the layers separate and we have the images on them so we can see straight away. In the older version, this is 9, you can see other layers, but there is no image unless you hover over. So I'm hovering and I can see the image if I hold what is over the top. It was really important in those versions to name everything. It was very difficult to know what was on each layer unless you did name them. Also, in our current versions, everything else, like the blend mode, the opacity, that is all up the top, and it will show you what the current layer that you have activated is. So if I was going to lower the opacity of that, then it would show you up the top, whereas the next layer will be back to 100. Whereas in version 9, you have your opacity here, so I could lower the opacity of that layer separately and still see what all of the other layers were. Here's the little eye for opening and closing, exactly the same. And we also have the blend modes here beside each layer. So everything was in line. Your new raster layers and everything is at the top in this one. In our current one, it's all down the bottom. Okay, that's showing you how the old layer palette works. Now, if you prefer the old layer palette's way of showing you all of that information, you can go to File, Preferences, General Program Preferences. We're back here in this same window. Click on Palettes and go over to the Layers palette and click the box that says Write Pane. Now, if you go OK with that, then you're going to have, I'm going to bring my layers palette here into the center and just widen this out. So now you can see that you have got your individual opacities on each layer and your individual blend modes on each layer. If you find this is too bulky and you like the narrower version with all the individual things up the top, then don't use this. But you might like to trial it to see how it goes. It all depends on how big your screen is and how much room you have got. If you're working on a massive big monitor, you may be able to have room for all of that and it will all work for you. But if you're on a laptop, it's probably going to be quite bulky and taking up a lot of space. And if you don't like it, remember to go back, File, Preferences, General Program Preferences, untick the Write Pane box and click OK, and then you have it back the way it was. But just remember to make it smaller again if you want to reduce the space. To dock it over there to the side. Okay, well that's it for getting the old layer palette back. Okay, now don't forget, if you try this layer palette out and you don't like it, you can always go back. Now tomorrow we have more lessons on the illumination effects. And if you are enjoying these lessons and projects and tips, please give the videos a thumbs up and please subscribe. It does help to get the videos out there to everybody. Okay, now keep practicing and have fun, and I will see you later. Bye.